So my ask is very, very simple. For the next 15 minutes, I ask of you guys to keep an open mind and keep an open heart, and let's look at how we can actually possibly do this industry just a little bit differently. Is that a fair ask? All right, let's get into it. So I challenged sharing this quote for a little bit because I did not want to offend anybody, but I'm gonna share it anyways on the risk of that. So I believe the status quo of sales and marketing in our industry can be boring, soulless, and misaligned with what customers really, really want. I'm gonna let you sit in that for a second, right? Because I know it's not very popular to say sometimes, but I truly believe that. And so what was so transformational when I read that book is what Marcus refers to as the 4 pillars of trust. And now I'm gonna walk through those 4 pillars of trust today, and I'm gonna give you guys an example of each of those 4 pillars and how we do things just a little bit differently than our competition. So some of them are a little bit radical, some of them I would say are downright crazy. So the first pillar that he refers to is talking about what others are not willing to talk about, okay? And I'll go into that in a minute. The second pillar is show what others are not willing to show. My favorite one is sell in ways that others are not willing to sell. And the last one, which I think is so challenging in a day of AI, and I'm sure there'll be a lot of AI talk at some point at this conference or another one, but how can we be human in ways that others are not willing to be human? So those are the 4 pillars I'm gonna talk about today and jump into. So the first thing is to talk about what others are not willing to talk about. And so my question for you guys to challenge yourself with is, has your company embraced this evolution of buyer expectations? And I'll dive into that a little bit more here in a minute. And then the second one, which I'll show you guys how we have done this, is how do you become the single most known and trusted source of information in your market, and what does that look like, right? So the way in which we have done that in San Antonio is we talk about it. And so what that starts with on our website is it starts with our learning center. So for me, the days of having a blog have kind of gone away, because blogs were what? Blogs were articles that were designed to kind of trick the SEO, code and start ranking for things. And so for us, it is, what are the most common questions that homeowners are asking, both prior to the sale, during the sale, and post-sale. And we took it upon us to say, hey, we want to answer every single one of those questions in both written and video form. And so the way in which we do that is every single month, we meet together with our sales and marketing team. And marketing for us in our organization is really a resource for sales. Is how do we meet what they need? And we talk about what are the most common questions. And the desire is very simple, is we want to actually shorten our time in the home. I love reading those reviews sometimes in my competition where the sales rep is in their home for 4 hours. I mean, 4 hours. I mean, that's a long presentation, right? And so for me, it's how do we equip that homeowner to be better educated on the front end and be more equipped and better educated, prior to us actually going to the home. And so just some examples of what we talk about. This is one of my favorite articles. I've gotten some nasty emails from some competition in the market, but 13 red flags to look out for in a home remodeling contractor. And so we talk about a lot of the stuff that I've already mentioned as far as the high pressure closed sales tactics, offers that may not necessarily be true. And so we address that head on. And the way in which we also leverage these articles is they rank very well from a SEO standpoint, so they do generate a lot of leads for us. Our website is built on HubSpot, so the great thing about that is we're able to tie revenue back to specific articles. So that gives us a lot of insight on what articles we want to write more of. And in addition to that, we also send out articles pre-appointment to the homeowner. At the very end of my presentation, I'll show you guys some screenshots. So after every appointment we set, we do a personalized one-to-one video for the homeowner from whoever set the appointment in the call center. In that video, we include links that are personalized to the conversation they had. So if it's an appointment for siding, if it's an appointment for doors, we're sending them articles that address those questions. And I'll show you here in a minute, we address the one that nobody wants to address. Any thought of what that is? Price. So I'm gonna show you guys in a minute. Some people are gonna get very uncomfortable about it, but we share price. We share price in those articles. And the one thing I was very fearful initially is by sharing price, I was gonna see this massive cancellation rate, right? And we haven't. If anything, our cancellation rate has gone down. You guys will see here in a minute how much our close rates have gone up since we started doing this.